Say she can't choke, she don't know what to do.
She's gotta go. Bye. I know that you love this flow. We just chillin', we just villains. We just chillin', we some villains.
I love it up, get the ammo and I stick it up. I grab shots on the top of shots. I bust the clip and I let it dip. I make it poop, make it explode. Touch your toes, hit your nose. Can you touch your toes? Simon telling you what to do. Follow my commando, hit in the bando, trap in the bando, not like a Rambo. Rocky, Sylvester, Solo. I'm telling you, I get this money even.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. I am your host, Brian Barnaby, and I am joined by Matt. What's up, bro?
What's up,
good to have you back.
You, bro.
Yeah, Tony's in town.
As always.
What's going on?
Mr. Mustachio himself.
As always, our super producer, Mike. What's going on, man?
What's going on, world?
And as we teased yesterday, we do have some exciting news. Starting tomorrow, we are going to be simulcast at 7:00, and thanks to Soundview Community Media, we're going to be on Optimum channels 77, 88, 78, and 79, and on Frontier 6016, 6017, 6018, 6078, 6079, and 6080. So obviously we're pumped to that. And that's in addition,
we're all over the place.
In addition to always
everywhere.
being on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.
Let's go.
And before we start talking anything, I'm sure all of you are wondering this. How did Yankee Stadium security let Tony in the building?
Are you kidding me?
This isn't Queens. Get out of here.
Wow, dude. Did they give you a hard time at the door?
No, do they welcome me with open arms?
You didn't listen to our directions.
I'm a nice guy.
Told them to give you a hard time.
So, as we always do, since the season started, we are going to start with baseball, and we'll start with the Yankees. And last night, they get the job done, a 3-1 victory over the Blue Jays. And the living legend, he comes through again, Garrett Cole, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, 8 Ks. Bullpen, another scoreless 3 innings. And I think I saw a stat. I think it's 13 straight scoreless innings out of the pen. That's all you could ask for. And then how about the star of the game, though? Kyle Higashioka, 2 for 3, 2 homers, 3 RBIs. I mean, the rest of the lineup went 2 for 25. So the offense wasn't there. Pitching came up big. And I just thought it was interesting before I get to your thoughts, Matt.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you heard this on the broadcast.
Wait for it.
Well, before we get to my thoughts, we should get to Mike's thoughts.
I just want to get my thoughts out there, and here they are.
Giving chases Judge, and he dives into the stand.
DeGrom begins the season with an overpowering strikeout of Ronald Acuna.
The wall is gone! 3-run home run! What's going on here? I love it. He drives one to the moon. High, deep, and very gone.
Let's go, dude.
And
what a great video.
Great intro.
I think once
sick.
the Padres get tired of paying Tatis Jr., we'll see him behind us. But that'll be a couple years.
Wow.
So enjoy it, everybody in San Diego. I was just going to say on the broadcast, though, they were saying, Cole looks a little off. I don't think he has his A stuff. Pretty good performance for not having your stuff, huh?
No, definitely solid, dude. He looked so sick last night. I was so pumped to see him out there just dealing. It was nice. Great to see it. And Higashioka, love that too. Big clutch hit, dude.
Yeah.
Rest of the lineup just
What's
didn't do
the
anything.
deal with him? Because the Yankees haven't announced him as Cole's catcher,
But
right?
he definitely is. They
But-
just haven't said anything. But
Yeah.
100%.
Come on, they just say it,
Yeah, I mean,
Put it out there.
Yeah,
I
what's the
think
difference?
I think they wanted Gary in their opening day, but you look at
Oh,
the
of course.
splits between both guys.
well, it was nice that they did that
Yeah.
too because Gary got it going.
Right.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
That
Get it
paid
going.
off.
Yeah,
But
Paid off.
you have a guy like Garrett Cole making all the money he does. They're not going to mess around with something that he's a little uncomfortable with. So
Right.
Higashioka, he's going to catch all of his games, I'm sure. And you have some people in of course you understand why, but they want to say, oh, maybe he should be the main catcher. I personally don't think that. Besides that, we know Gary's more talented. It's just if he's going to get there. But I think he plays well in spurts, but I can't see him, keeping up this type.
Well,
of
that's the thing.
pace.
Gary's
Biggie, you
fucking.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I
Gary's
think he's a
streaky,
great
though,
backup.
you know?
Right,
He's a
So it's
great
like-
backup.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
great backup, and he's definitely better defensively than Gary.
Yeah,
So it's just Gary's bat is. It could be ridiculous. Has the potential to be
Yeah.
ridiculous. So that's why he's in there. but
and I
it's
think
not. It's a
overall,
little tough behind the plate.
the way
honestly.
he started offensively, I mean, you have to be happy with his average is higher. He's getting on. I think they said his OPS I heard today was almost a little over 900. So for him, what was it last year? Probably 6 something. I mean, so that's a good start.
Right.
Small sample size, of course. So you like what you've seen out of him. And the bullpen, though, I mean, they have really come up big. Because besides Cole, the starters haven't gotten the length this year.
Right.
So that's huge. But now, you want to see some more length out of the other guys because you don't want the bullpen to get tired out. And Chapman, I mean, he's
nice to see
out.
nice to see Chapman out there.
Possibly another
Like just heaving
Living
it like
legend.
Oh
okay.
my goodness.
Not
dude,
go
the
that
living
far.
legend. Living legend.
But yeah,
But-
dude. I mean, his new splitter, dude, is. I remember them talking about it at the beginning of the season. Like it is
Insane,
filthy,
dude.
Yeah.
Filthy.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was
It's-
doing, but this new pitch is like a great addition to his arsenal for sure.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
paying off.
Yeah. I mean, he's really kept hitters off balance. I mean, anytime you could start a season, you have 12 outs, 11 of them via
Right.
the strikeout. I mean, that's
It's
pretty.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, he throws 101 pretty
Yeah.
It's just
easily,
good
and
to
then
see
he hits you
too,
with that
bro, 'cause,
splitter.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I was a little nervous about the bullpen, honestly,
Right,
the first
right.
couple games,
It-
and just because it's been such a strength for the Yankees
Right.
the last couple of years.
Yeah. And it
And
was
now
nice to
these
see.
guys are coming in. It's like, oh my gosh,
And
like,
then Justin Wilson coming back from injury. I think
Yeah,
that's
that'll be-
big.
no doubt.
Light and load.
Yeah.
And Darren O'Day is pitching
No, I
great.
was gonna say Darren
dude,
O'Day
he had
is
a
solid.
clutch
Yeah.
8th inning for sure.
Yeah.
I wish
Out
the Yankees
Vlad
still
with
had
2
Kane,
on.
dude. Honestly, I like
Oh,
Kane.
yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
ideal, but obviously business. So.
But it's funny because when they first signed him, I honestly was a little skeptical. I'm like, he throws 85.
I know, me
He's
too.
gonna get
O'Day?
lit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they need him. I mean, I think we've seen that, and it's going to be interesting to see out of the young guys. And we were talking about the other day. I could see Abreu potentially being one of their better relievers this year. I mean, he looked dominant the other day against the Rays. That was a big 10th inning. So a lot of potential there, especially when you think about Loaizaga as well. He's
I
the
like
guy who's
Loaizaga,
been waiting
dude. I think he's gonna be a
for
solid
right.
reliever, dude. I don't know if he'll ever be a starter, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, 100%. He's nasty out of the bullpen.
Yeah, for sure.
And before we get to the matchup later tonight, what do you think though, just in general, is going on with the offense? I mean, obviously, like I said, 2 for 25.
dude.
Everyone else besides
Honestly,
Iggy last
like,
night.
They're just they can't figure it out.
LeMahieu
it
doesn't-
always,
Right.
dude. It's like he's literally doing the opposite of why he's
Mhm.
here.
And they've been striking out a lot, I feel, too.
Yeah,
Stanton and
dude.
Hicks are both
Yeah, bro.
double-digit
Yeah.
strikeouts right now.
Dude,
Honestly,
they just love to swing.
I
They
have a
always are
feeling
swinging.
I have a feeling Judge might be hurt because I think the other day
You don't
Boone
say, dude.
was asked if Judge was like
He's definitely
100%
hurt,
if he
bro.
was healthy,
I'm
and
gonna
he
say
just
he's definitely hurt.
paused for
There's
like
something.
a good few seconds. And
Yeah.
didn't really give a straight answer at all. So
Yeah, and I wonder too. Is it a trickle down effect because LeMahieu, he's the leadoff hitter, he's not
Mhm.
getting on, and then the
Right.
other guys are
Yeah,
pressing.
could be, dude.
there's
Because
no
like,
buzz, in the batters, dude. There's no buzz.
Yeah.
tough.
And obviously, like I've always said, I always support, my team, especially the Yankees. They're
Mhm.
above everyone else, but I'm going to
the
be
hierarchy.
real. And the offense has been disappointing. Not
Yeah,
many
absolutely,
home
dude.
runs, but at the end of the day, it's nice to get those 2 straight wins, get back to 500 after 10
for
games.
sure.
You set the reset button, and then thinking about tonight. I mean, 2 things.
They
stand
really
out
should be like 8-3, but
yeah. But hey, I mean, not all is lost. I mean,
Yeah.
you're fine. And just thinking about tonight, I mean, we have the pitching matchup. We got Taillon making his second
Taillon.
start. Loved
Love
his
me some Taillon,
stuff
dude.
last game. It was
yeah,
electric.
I love that curveball he's got,
Yeah.
dude.
And the
he gets a lot of
fastball-
guys out with that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. His location was on, probably a little too on, like we were saying. That's what
Yeah.
led to those home runs.
Yep.
In Ryu, I mean, opening day pitched well against the Yankees. So you'd expect, maybe they learned something from opening day and kind of
or maybe
attack
not.
him.
and just
Right,
swinging
hopefully.
away, swing
True.
for the fences, keep striking out. But hopefully,
Yeah.
because dude, I mean, 3 runs, like should have at least 5 runs a game. the Yankees.
Right.
if
I
you
mean,
think about it,
and then you
honestly.
look at the game before it. Yeah, they got to 8, but it was 4 in extra innings.
Right.
Got
Yeah.
2 out. You know,
I mean, it's what it is, dude.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, just win the fucking game. But,
and I think
you know.
too. I mean, it's just tough. I mean, when you have a team, a lot of expectations, the patience. It's very tough for us to be patient. So, and I know I keep saying this. I probably say it before every game. But I mean, they're due to just have a big breakout game where the runs are flying off the board, and not just against the Orioles, because we know that they can do it against the Orioles. And I think it just, if they could score early, it just changes the whole tone of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Changes
100%.
the tone.
Changes the tone, dude.
And I think too, because of Higashioka last night hitting those 2 home runs, I think, Gary, I'm sure he'll be back in the lab tonight. I think this is going to spark him. I wouldn't be surprised if he went deep tonight, honestly.
I mean, it could definitely happen. Gary could go deep like every game, but
he doesn't.
No, it's tough.
But no, he could. Obviously, that first
He's a
game
beast,
against
dude.
the
He
Blue
really
Jays,
is.
he did. So, and like you said, I'm sure he has a little bit of a fire under his ass.
Yeah.
But
Dude, your backup just came in and did that, hit 2 homers.
Yeah, right. You got to
win the
backup,
game,
dude.
Right.
You know,
Come on.
yeah.
I mean, and then
Gary
we
might be the fucking backup.
we've talked about this before too, with like a trickle down effect. Don't you think though, if they do have a big first inning, or you just even hit a 2-run homer in the first or something, that it just gonna keep flow.
Whenever they score first.
Exactly.
It's just, it seems like they barely have
usually
done
win
that
the game,
whole
never.
season. In 10 games.
Yeah. But if they do, I mean, it takes the pressure off Taillon as well too.
Yeah,
So he'll probably be pitching a little better. So ideally, that's what you want.
And I'm trying to think. I mean, besides Montgomery and Cole, his starts. I don't think anyone else have they even gone 5 innings. Because Kluber definitely didn't. Herman didn't.
No, Herman.
So I think it's just Montgomery. Well, I guess his last start he did, but he didn't pitch well.
Herman sucks.
Yeah, I mean, we like Debbie.
Yeah.
We want to see Debbie up there, so that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
They bring him back up.
And I could see Herman having success in a relief role.
Same.
Kind of like almost
just
like
like
Mendoza type of role. You know?
Exactly.
I mean, obviously going way back, but, I think that would be good. But I think the key is, let's sit fastball early against Ryu. I mean, imagine how uplifting it would be for Judge to hit a 2-run homer after LeMahieu leadoff single. I mean, that sets the tone for the whole night.
That's what they need.
So
get those guys going.
Probably not going to happen though.
So we will see 7:07 tonight, and as we said yesterday, in Dunedin. So game 2 in Dunedin. So looking forward to watching that, and we'll see what happens. And then on the other side of town, the Mets, like we said yesterday,
here we go.
It was a rain out, but I think Tony's a happy guy today because he gets not only 1, but 2 baseball games today.
We're double dipping today, boys.
The first game, I think, actually just started.
4 o'clock,
yeah, they said 4:10, 4:12. So that game is Chase Anderson versus Tajuan Walker and Peterson, like we said.
Yeah, gets
skipped. And then the second game, Nola versus Stroman. And we talked about how we thought Stroman, they would give him the full 5 days after the 7 pitches, but they decided to go with him in game 2. So a lot ahead of here for the Mets, and after a small sample size.
Get going, honestly, dude. I like Stroman. I always like.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
he just wants to be shoulders.
So it's funny.
Yeah,
he definitely does.
It is funny.
I don't think so.
But they started 2-3 so far. Like we said, small sample size. Last game they played, I guess, was Saturday, the 3-0 shutout.
Yeah.
So I mean, just like the Yankees, you want to see a quick start, runs on the board. So
Ideally.
I mean, both of these games. I mean, what are you looking for here, Tony?
So I'm looking for some better, consistent hitting. I mean, you like that?
It's the water. It's the water.
It's the water, dude.
The water.
New York water, dude.
New York, not Connecticut water.
I mean, I think so far has been kind of a lackluster performance from the bats on the team. I mean, just like the Yankees too, we have barely any home runs. I think we have only 3 on the season. McCann and Lindor both batting 176.
Slow starts.
It's very slow start. Conforto is in a big slump. He's at 143 right now. He keeps striking out. He keeps falling in the batting order as well. So I'm looking maybe a little bounce back game from him. And I feel like if there would be a bounce back game, it would be the first game against Anderson. Last time Anderson pitched was against the Mets. They won 8-4. And you actually saw home runs from Alonso and Dom Smith as well. We scored. I think that was the highest scoring game we've had so far. And obviously, I mean, I would think Stroman and Taillon today would kind of have some good outings. Yeah, dude. Hopefully, first game. Let's see another 8-run game, dude. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and I think especially in the first game, you want to see some length out of Walker because, a doubleheader, you can't.
Right, your
burn the
bullpen.
bullpen.
Exactly, true.
So ideally, if you could get 6 innings out of both guys, 2 earned at most.
Right.
I mean, that gives you a chance.
Yeah, before we get Diaz in there to blow it a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Dude, they always make you sweat, dude.
Literally
Mets,
every
bro.
time, bro. Even when Diaz
You
gets
guys
the
must
win,
have,
he
like,
gives up a
8
run or
heart
two.
attacks on average.
Yeah. Oh my
Met
God,
fan
dude.
base.
What would you say your confidence level in a sweep today would be?
For the Mets.
0.
The Mets, dude.
No, I would say I would give it a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a sweep.
Really going out on a limb there, dude.
Yeah, like that 50 flip of a coin, dude. I really do think that we're gonna come out swinging the first game, get a few early runs, hopefully. And then Taillon.
And what? Not come out swinging the second game? What is this what kind of game plan is this?
No. Well, it's
I'm
about
confused.
it's about setting the tone, Mike.
All right, what kind of
tone?
tone?
Tone,
Okay,
tone,
you have a bad
dude.
tone.
Ask
Forget
bars.
about it.
Is it a
Tone, baby.
LeBron
It's
James
all
kind
about
of
your
tone,
tone.
or is it a Jordan kind of tone? Because I'm confused.
Well, they want to win, so it's LeBron.
Oh
tone.
my God, with the basketball talk already.
No, but go ahead.
You two are unbelievable.
Save it. No, and like I said, like having Walker out there for 6 innings, Stroman out there for 6. I think our bullpen is more than capable of holding it down like a 2 or 3 run lead.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't give him a 1 run. No, probably not capable of holding down a one run lead.
Run 1-1.
No. It's just
A 1
hard,
run
dude.
lead.
Hard words.
Run 1.
Hard.
And actually, right now, they have retired the first 2 batters, so which is obviously a good
We'll
sign.
get it
2
up. I'll get it up
strikeouts
for you
for
guys.
See it for Walker. Love
and
to see
it's
it.
an
Get him going.
0-2 count on Bryce Harper, so I think this would be a
Let's
huge
go,
out to
dude.
get.
Strike out the
Get
side.
past
0-2 on
Harper. And the lineup gets a little easier. And then, with the lineup, they go Nimmo, Lindor, Smith, Alonso, McNeil. So he moves up to 5. And then you got
Conforto still at
Conforto,
6.
McCann, and Guillermo, and obviously
Guillermo.
Walker
Yeah.
rounding out the lineup.
Nimmo's actually the only one who's been batting well on the team. I think he has like a 4.16, 4.12 average. So like him leading off is good. Hopefully Lindor is taking some notes maybe. And
I mean, limited at bats, but
Lindor will get going soon
Guillermo
enough,
is
dude.
he was at
500.
Yeah, dude. Very limited. What is that? 3
Like
at bats?
100%.
No, was it just the one start the other day?
Yeah, I
'Cause
think so,
we were talking
dude.
about how he was starting.
Yeah.
So now it's 2-2 on Harper. So
Oh,
because
Let's battle
was it
back here.
first inning they gave up a home run to him the last
Yeah,
series?
last time we were
I
watching.
got it
Well,
live.
well,
I got it
Peter-
live
that was
for you guys
Peterson.
too.
Yeah,
on
Yeah.
TV.
Peterson
Okay.
gave up 4
So
in the
they
first,
must have
yeah.
already went to.
There you go, Tony.
No,
There
we
we
do have
go.
a 2-2
And the
count.
Mets game is
2-2
on.
count.
in the
Oh,
HQ.
dude.
And
Let's just watch this
Not to
rest of the
spoil
show.
it, but
Yeah,
it is
dude.
he
Just a complete
throws the
watch
ball
party.
here,
Don't
so
say
it's
anything.
3-2. Sorry.
Come on, man.
Hate to do it to you, low and away.
All right, Barnes. Don't be mystic. All right.
Without any prediction, we know he has his bull because he's looking at it right
I mean,
now.
do you want me to let you know what
Yeah,
happened?
no.
No.
Can you
All right,
pull
all
it
right.
down from your phone, please, and just enjoy it with us? Be in the,
Yeah,
mo-
bro.
be in the moment, bud.
Phones off, friends
All
on.
right,
Rat,
all right.
dude.
I mean,
You're
hey,
being a rat bastard.
Yeah.
I like to just see stuff
Oh.
live. That's all.
Yeah,
Is
live.
he ground out?
So
Oh,
they get out of it.
Let's see it, dude.
Harper
and
grounds out.
obviously, coming to the plate, you're going to want to see
Yeah.
Nimmo
Yeah,
That
dude.
lead
for
off.
you.
I think the worst thing would be Nimmo first pitch, pops it
Pops
up
up.
behind second. I mean, how many times you see that team's pressing?
Right.
You don't want to see
Yeah,
that.
swinging
so-
early.
Especially with the Mets.
They know.
I know.
Yeah, they
Just
don't
take
work
a
the
breath,
count.
dude.
Yeah,
See the
Including
first
the Yankees,
pitch,
dude. They haven't been- and that's
Give
one
us
of their
some
strengths.
right.
Not to
Right.
not to jump back, but
That always
Always
gives you the
thinking,
best shot. And a guy like Chase Anderson, I mean, with not high velocity, so you want to see them
Right.
kind of sit fastball early. And Lindor, I mean, if he were to go deep, I think
Oh,
that would
dude.
be big for him.
Lindor's gonna
glorious.
get going, dude. Soon.
Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
so. I
Soon
mean,
enough,
again, like
dude.
small sample
I
size.
like
Talked about
Lindor.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine. And,
Yeah.
and I think like the Yankees, it's a trickle down effect. So
exactly.
Yeah.
once some guys get going.
Yep.
And then, just some other stuff around the league. We've been talking about the Angels. They crushed the Royals last night, 10-3. Ohtani 3 for 5, 3 RBIs. Trout hits a 2-run homer.
Mhm.
And it was funny. As always, I was listening to Dog on the way in, and he was saying
Love it.
he's impressed by the Angels, but he
Love to
said,
hear it.
this is just over the top. He said, it doesn't matter about Ohtani hitting. They just need him to pitch, which they do need him to pitch. But I
Definitely need
wouldn't.
him to hit
But
too.
he's like your cleanup hitter. You
Yeah,
know, he's
right? Like, come
he's
on,
got
dude.
the blister. He's
Oh,
27.
Oh my gosh, come on! It's a blister.
Classic
dude. Like,
Mad
give me a
Dog.
break.
So he just wants to see him have
Dude,
some
but
success on the
If
mound.
the Angels
Yeah.
can do that consistently, like if those
I
guys
know.
are playing like that,
Yeah.
Like
I really
they
want to
can-
see
I
it.
think they
'Cause
can
Stroud
make a little
deserves
noise dude,
it.
in that division. So.
And you know, you just have a team like that over and over. You see them fall short. You just kind of want to see.
I know. I feel bad for
things switch
Trout,
up.
dude.
I know you got it,
Right?
but
You gotta-
honestly, I don't know, dude. I mean, their
Yeah.
pitching has
They
come
always
out
suck.
like pretty good. I feel like better
Yeah.
than anticipated
Yeah.
this season.
It
So if they
has.
keep that up, like
Trout
And
was just
especially because I
unbelievable
think
too,
it was
dude.
the other night Quintana got bombed. If he could pitch well, because then you add
Right.
him with the other Bundy,
Mhm.
Obviously if Ohtani is right. And
Right.
Heaney. I mean, those are some guys where if you're thinking about their pitching from a couple
knew you were
years
gonna do
ago,
that.
big improvement if
Right.
those guys are solid.
Yeah.
and then you got like
100%.
4 solid, pitchers going on the rotation. Like,
And
dude,
dude, I mean,
I
if you
think
have
it might
Mike
be
Trout in
time
your
to
lineup,
kind
I
of
mean,
take them a little
geez.
serious for the playoffs.
And he
even.
And
fell.
Ohtani, dude.
Yeah.
He fell one out short of a quality start,
hitting
but last
swingers.
night, Alex Cobb, another one of those guys for the Angels,
Mhm.
5 2/3, 3 earned, but 10 Ks and only 1 walk.
Wow.
So he's a guy that was pretty solid. Has really fallen off. So if you could get anything out of him,
Yeah, any kind of production.
yeah,
Honestly.
that would be big. And then me and Tony were talking about this yesterday. Bumgarner again,
Oh my God,
completely
whacked.
bombed.
Dude, it's
4
amazing how
2/3,
he's
6
fallen
earned.
off, bro.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Uh,
it's been because dude, he was so nasty.
I know. Yeah, for the Giants, we were
Dude.
talking about yesterday. Yeah,
in the
dude.
postseason, especially. Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Oh, I mean, just
Clutch-
was a living
clutch,
legend in the
dude.
Yeah,
postseason,
it was.
literally. But I could see if the D-backs release him going back to the Giants,
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah,
right? I mean,
I guess.
Giants would definitely.
Do you
take
think they'd
Yeah.
pick him up again?
Giants-
oh yeah, dude, with no
I think
money,
so.
Maybe for a
owed,
fraction.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
true,
it's
true.
like what the Rays did with Chris Archer, bringing him back to me.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
the guy had success here before. Let's give it a shot. I mean,
Mhm.
who knows what'll happen? And then also for the Tigers, they actually beat the Astros yesterday, and former #1 pick Casey Mize 7 scoreless against an Astros team that we know can hit. I mean, that's pretty impressive, for a Tigers team that we've talked about.
Yeah, for
in
sure.
the
So
preview
bad.
with no hope.
So bad.
Cabrera's already on the IL, but if you're getting your #1 pick doing
Right.
something
When
like
I want
that,
to talk about
That's
the
a little
IL,
hope
but-
right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, they look forward to seeing, what can happen. And, we also, do have some other games, in progress at the moment. Boston and Minnesota tied at 2 in the bottom of the 6th, and Arizona already up 3-0 on Oakland in the 2nd, as well as the Mariners 2-0 over the Orioles in the 2nd as well. And it's been kind of interesting. We haven't really talked about it, of course. I mean, no one has any interest in them, but the Red Sox won 6 in a row since losing
Since
those
losing
first
to the
3,
Orioles,
which
yeah.
is a shock to me. I mean, Martinez, I think, hit 3 homers the other day, but
Yeah, he's
still
carrying
expect
a lot of that offensive load for them, but
Yeah, I
it
still
is-
expected
it
them
is
to
cr- But
be,
dude, I mean, this is what happens early. Like
Right.
bad teams can do this.
Right.
right.
Like
right.
the Marlins made the playoffs last year. Short season,
And-
so
and-
small
and
sample size.
I
and
caught a
lot.
little slack for
happened.
saying it in our preview, but I think the Marlins are gonna finish last and not make.
Yeah,
the
they're not
playoffs.
looking too. They're not looking
I mean, it's early,
good at
but
all.
yeah, that's just kind of how I see it.
really no progress since Jeter's been there. Sorry, Derek.
Yeah, I mean, a couple, positive signs, but not overall. I mean, it's not impressive,
No.
So, we'll see what happens. What do we got? 2-0 count on Nimmo.
Oh, let's go.
So long commercial break. No.
Very long, I feel. Mike, what was up with that?
It wasn't me. It was them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. We're gonna say it was.
You know the whole thing. It's not me. It's not you. It's
We
me.
know.
Right. No, it's the
Oh, wow, we
opposite
call
with
it
you.
it's a late call.
I think Keith Hernandez didn't know what happened.
Oh, dude, that makes sense, dude.
Oh,
Probably
my
tending to his
goodness.
cats or something.
Oh man! But any developments, we have, we will.
We'll keep you posted.
We'll keep you
Ooh,
posted.
good take.
And before
3-1?
we
3-1.
we move on to the NBA here, anything else you fellas wanted to add on the world of baseball?
Just looking forward to Yankees winning tonight.
Let's go. Oh yeah,
Solid.
Yeah.
lock of the night, Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
Lock of the night, really?
Taillon
There
is
it
going to
is.
get the quality start.
Oh, I love
6
when Nimmo
innings,
runs to
2 earned,
Just walk.
10 Ks. Yankees win
Yeah, right?
8-2.
good walk, dude.
So
Yeah,
That-
maybe Chapman will have a lucky call on the last strike again, and you guys
Yeah.
wrap it up.
You gotta
That-
take it, dude.
that's
Take
what'll
what you can
happen.
get.
It's funny how like when you get a call in your favor, it's like
everything's
like,
okay,
honestly,
dude. Yeah.
that's my
That's how
mistake.
it goes.
Just real
Of
quick.
course.
Yeah,
How insane
How
was
insane.
that? No, that
Dude.
was hilarious.
Yeah,
that
dude,
call.
that
I
ball
just
was-
want to get the fuck
Dude,
out, dude.
that
That's
umpire had to
why.
take a shit or something, dude. He wanted to get out of there,
100%.
take a strike.
I mean,
That ball was at his shins.
would
dude.
you say 3 feet below the strike zone?
Yeah, probably.
No, dude, it was just an act of
Was
desperation.
Angel
Yeah.
Hernandez
Had to get out.
behind the
Dude,
plate?
dude, he should have stuck his
He's
foot out. You know,
garbage.
leaned into the pitch. You know?
Goldstein alert.
What do we got?
Goldie.
Never locking in on the Yankees. Well, you should have listened yesterday when I said it was a lock.
Come on,
What happened?
Rich. What are you doing?
What happened,
old man?
Richard? Okay.
Richard.
So I
You know you gotta listen
I know
to Uncle
you're
Barnes.
cheesing about the Knicks win last night, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Nah.
But Yankees are the
Barnes
priority
is
right now.
Eddie
So let's pump the
Mush.
brakes. All right. And we're gonna take a quick break and then get Grasso in for some NBA.
Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She got away. You know what I'm saying? She can't choke. She don't know what to do.
She's gotta go, she's gotta go. Bye bye. I know that you love this flow. We just chillin', we just chillin', we just villains. We just chillin', we just chillin', we some villains.
I leveled up, I leveled up. Get the ammo and I stick it up. I grab a shot on the top of shots. I bust the clip and I let it dip. I make it poop, make it explode. Touch your toes, hit your nose. Can you touch your toes? Simon telling you what to do. Running my commando, hitting the bando, trapping the bando, not like a Rambo. Rocky, Sylvester, Solo. I'm telling you, I get this money even on my own.
Welcome back, everybody. And let's just say Tony is not tight. We do have breaking news. What do we got, Mike?
We've got a 2-run homer from Smith. It
Dominic
looks like
Smith.
right over the plate. It's something that anyone that was good at baseball would swing at, I feel like, right?
I mean, what was that fastball? 85?
Yes. Except for Stanton and Judge.
Yeah, no, they'd let it go through and
Yeah,
get a strike.
right down the
No,
middle.
they got to work
Just
the
look
count.
at it. Yeah,
You can see a better
They need
pitch.
to do that, dude.
No, dude, you got to be
Completely
patient.
necessary.
So, I mean, we just talked about it. You know, good trickle down, getting on the board first. You know, nothing crazy, but set the tone. Set the tone. It's all about tone. And speaking of tone, we have Grasso here to talk some NBA. Let's
What's up,
go.
Lawrence, thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
It's good to be
I
next
know,
to you
dude.
again.
Let's go.
So
How are you?
we
How
are
are you?
ready
How's
to
your
talk
mother? How's your father?
NBA.
Where's-
All right. So,
yeah.
last night we had a couple games that we previewed involving, all of our teams. And I have to say, you got me, Mike. Knicks 111, Lakers 96. And, it was close at the half. I think they were down 3. But really, the Knicks did control this whole game. And Randall had, another big game, another double-double. And how about Elfrid Payton with 20 points? That was big. And D-Rose actually had 14 in 20 minutes. So, third straight win for the Knicks. Not much to not be happy with here for the Knicks. Getting another win and a couple tough games coming up with the Pelicans and the Mavs. So we'll be all over that. And I'll start, as we always do, with Mike. Overall thoughts on this game, besides that you had me, besides the trash talk, what do you got for analysis?
Really impressed. Here's my story. So you remember I told you I had a story, Barnes?
Yeah.
So my story is Julius Randle. I don't know if you know who he is, Barnes. He's the guy that
former
did.
Laker, 7th overall pick.
This is actually a story with him on the
2015.
Lakers.
That was pre-LeBron,
2014.
though. You know about
8th
that?
overall pick.
I do.
He was there for 2 years, and in those 2 years, he spent some time with a man. Do you know who he is, Matthew?
Matt
I
definitely knows.
believe it's
I think he wore number
one
24.
Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
That would be him.
So he spent some time with Kobe, and Kobe told him, he's like, hey, like, whether you're here, whether you're not here, whenever you go on away games, whenever you go on road trips or whatever, you go to the court as soon as you get there, and you get your shots up and you get right as soon as you get there. No wasted time, no nothing. Get the work in, put it in as soon as you get to that away gym. So he started doing it in Detroit, I think this season, and the gym, they had a high school gym for him that they got, right? And the high school coach was like, this is great to see, you NBA stars come in here and put in the extra work, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And he was like, the last person to do this was Kobe Bryant in that gym. And now the Knicks team, Julius Randle doesn't go to the gym alone anymore. The whole team goes and they get shots up as soon as they go to any away gym. So that's culture. That's not riding on the pigtails of one AD and LeBron James. That's building a team, a real team, grit and grind like you never seen
It's
before.
completely two different situations, though.
Yeah, I know.
That was when Reggie Bullock got knocked to the ground right in front of the Knicks bench, and the entire bench got up to help him
Everybody
up.
got up and picked him up.
And you saw Markieff Morris was there, like talking trash.
Absolutely
Like,
love it.
You're just jealous you're not part of that, Markieff.
Hell yeah. we wait, which one did we trade? I don't know.
Marcus. You traded the other one. Marquise.
Yeah, it was.
I like Marcus more.
Yeah, he's better. Much better.
But yeah, no, it was a great game, dude. And I'm really excited for these next two games we have coming on, New Orleans and Dallas. I'm predicting 2 wins in a row. I'm going 5 straight, sweeping the West Coast trip and saying goodnight to both those teams, especially Zion.
Is that the lock of the night?
That's the lock of the night.
Wow.
Zion,
Lock of the night.
Julius Randle will outplay Zion and carry the Knicks over the New Orleans
The
Pelicans.
Knicks should definitely
Lock
beat
it
the
up.
Pelicans.
Huh?
They should absolutely beat the Pelicans.
Yes.
They're way better. The
But
Knicks are back, honestly, dude. It's good. It's sick to see. It
Richard.
really is.
Richard alert.
you can't
I knew
sleep on
Rich
this
was gonna
Knicks
get in
team.
this.
I mean, you are right. They definitely had a solid season, and you have to be happy being a Knicks fan like
Yep.
yourself, Richard.
So much to be excited about.
So I'm sure you're just anxious to see how they finish. You know,
What about
down the
Mount
stretch here.
Drummond though, bud?
Yeah, Mount Drummond was a little
gosh.
tough last night. 3 points, 10 rebounds. Hey, I think once he plays more of a complementary role, once the big boys get back, I think you'll see a different player out there.
I think
That's all I can
Nervous
say.
Nerlens, as you like to call him, had his number out there.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, Andre Drummond's got 80 pounds
And-
on the guy probably
Dude,
and couldn't
Drummond
do
was
anything.
so
And Mitch. Where was Mitch? Mitch Harris.
Yeah.
What's his
Brutal,
name?
dude.
Montrezl
Montrezl
Harrell with
Harrell.
a nice 0 points. for
Yeah.
the night.
Oh, it's so
0
that
points.
you can't
Yeah.
have that.
No,
We
just
can't
just
have
one
Looks
of
like
those
nervous.
games. I mean,
Nervous
especially
Nerlens.
Everybody was so nervous.
The first half
dude.
was fine, but the second half they just didn't show up. I mean, that's just what it was.
Well, that's what happens when you don't have a team besides, LeBron and AD.
Ooh.
That's kind of true.
But it's funny.
It's kinda true.
I was texting with Chokri, who's commented before.
Chokri.
My future brother-in-law, and he was just saying how ridiculous, specifically you and Mike are with the Lakers hate the tone. Like you
Yo,
said,
it's all about
specific
tone.
Talking about the
And
tone again.
basically,
Set the
he was
tone.
saying, enjoy for especially Mike, obviously being the Knicks fan, enjoy the victory now. You would have no shot if LeBron and AD were there. And just for the two of you guys specifically, I think just because it's been a few weeks, more than that really, since both guys have been on the court
Yeah.
together, you kind of just have forgotten how good they are. So I think it'll be a rude awakening for you guys and the rest of the league once they come back. So shout out Chokri for being a
You're lucky
loyal
Jamal
follower.
Murray got
They're
injured.
definitely gonna be a
Watches
problem
every
when they get
episode,
back. No
so
doubt about it.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
They'll
they'll
be
be
a problem.
They'll be good, but they're not beating Brooklyn.
Right? If Jamal Murray didn't get hurt,
We'll get into it. We'll get
Nuggets
into
would
it.
be knocking them out in the
We're
first
going to
round.
kind of look at our predictions after we go over these games. So before we move on here, anything else you guys saw here, or kind of just what you expected?
Yeah.
Lakers being shorthanded, kind of putting in a tough spot.
I mean, this is what we talked about yesterday is the Lakers need like that third scorer because RJ Barrett was trash last night. What, 7 points, I think?
Yeah.
So when one of him or Julius Randle struggles, they need someone to step up. And Elfrid Payton was the guy last night. 20 points from Elfrid Payton. And the Knicks scored 111 points. We talked about how they barely ever get over 100. They got a good night from Elfrid Payton. And I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Knicks defense too, dude. Like coming up, holding the Lakers under 100 points.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's been there all season. So, and it's funny, Peyton, I don't know. I part of me, like, he's not that good, but I still think he's still a little underrated.
But kind of
Like,
back to Mike's
he's
point,
solid.
dude. Like culture, like
Yeah.
you could thrive in that. Like anybody could go off any given
Yeah,
night.
they don't
that's
care.
what it is.
Yeah.
The Lakers don't have that.
No.
honestly. They don't.
Well,
I mean,
without-
it's two. Like I said, though, it's two different things.
I mean,
like,
it's a roster
the Lakers-
carousel in
Yeah,
LA.
yeah,
Everyone wants to
but-
come in to try and
and
win
they
a
have the two
championship.
anchors,
Well,
LeBron and AD. So
they have it. It's just in a different way.
It is what it is. That's it. It's just two different
because
things.
These guys,
We're like a college team,
But
and
the-
you guys aren't.
when you don't have
comp, dude.
LeBron setting you up, I mean, you're going to look ordinary versus when he's,
Well,
dropping
yeah.
you passes on the dimes,
Yeah, but
finding you open in the corner.
But
I mean,
dude,
a completely
it's just
different
scary to think. Like, dang, God forbid, never wish anything. But
exactly,
dude, anything could happen. What
think the
happens
same
if
thing,
AD
Mike.
goes down, dude? You're not winning it this year. Please, are you kidding me?
There's no
Like I
way.
said, I think you're just a little too excited for yourself.
I think Brooklyn would
I
win in that
don't think the
situation,
Knicks
honestly.
are
I
going to
think
be.
the playoffs aren't that far away. I
Yeah.
haven't seen LeBron and AD in a
Dude,
while.
the regular
coming back
season
soon,
goes
though.
into May.
Lakers are gonna-
First of all,
they're
everyone
gonna be straight.
relax.
guys are gonna
May's
come
only
back,
3
dude.
weeks away.
Yeah, but it's not
They'll be
May
back.
1st.
They'll be back.
Yeah, and it's just, believe me, you'll there's gonna be a point where you're just gonna think to yourself, you're gonna be watching the Lakers in the playoffs, running over their competition, and you're gonna think Barnes was right. And I just we can go
Mystic
back to the
Barnes.
film, but I'm just gonna say there's gonna be a point in time where you're gonna realize that you don't stop the king. So another game last night, we had the Sixers 113-95 over the Mavs, and we all expected this result. And when we were talking about this game, we didn't realize that Porzingis wasn't even going to play.
I think he got scared.
Yeah, I think he did. And Embiid did not get scared. He had 36 points, 7 rebounds in 26 minutes,
And he got to the free throw line 15 times in 26 minutes. Like
that's That's impressive. And, we'll kind of, start with you here, Grasso. I mean, it's your team. I mean, you have to be pumped by the result. I mean, what do you take from
last
this?
night? Like Ross was fucking probably.
I mean, I take the two things that we talked about. Embiid absolutely dominated the paint. He did the Jordan-like things where I'm going to go to this spot, I'm going to get the ball there, and I'm going to score. And he did it all night. They fouled him a lot, and then Ben Simmons locked up Luka.
Yeah.
Luka was frustrated all
Luka
night.
couldn't get
He
anything
never got
going.
anything really going. I mean, he scored again, but he always puts up the points.
Minus 17.
Minus 17,
It's
the
crazy,
same amount of
bro.
turnovers
Yes.
as assists.
Yeah.
Ben
Once
Simmons is
again,
a problem
tough
on
night for
defense.
Luka. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because Ben Simmons has nice length, dude. He's athletic.
And
Great
were you a little
defender.
excited for Korkmaz? 20 points
Hey,
in
a
18
little
minutes?
Korkmaz.
Furkan can shoot, and if you ever watch him, I think he's from Turkey, but I might be wrong there. But when he plays on the national team, he kind of plays point guard for them.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
got some playmaker skills. He can shoot, man. Korkmaz is another weapon off the bench. The Sixers team is good. I mean, I think they might be missing that scoring guard. I mean, we might talk about that later to win a championship.
You wish they had
But-
Lowry.
I'd love Lowry. I mean, I wish they traded Simmons
know.
for Harden. But
Or you wish Simmons was the scoring guard?
yeah, Simmons should be that scoring guard.
Take a couple threes, bud.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, but they might be just that one hair away from a championship. But besides that, I mean, this is as complete of a basketball team as we've seen in the NBA this year.
Yeah. And I mean, 20 games over 500. You're ahead of Brooklyn by a half game. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing else you could want at this point from this team. And I think just looking at it, it's just one of those things for them to have success in the playoffs. Obviously, you need your big names to produce, but they're going to have to be one of those times where they find all those open shooters, Curry on the wing and everyone at Green, and they're going to have to make them. I mean, that's what it's going to
Dude,
come
I think
down
it's gonna be
to.
a tight finish though at the end for that
Yeah.
first seed between Philly
Oh,
and
for
Brooklyn.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's
we
gonna
know
be fun watching that down the stretch.
we know
honestly.
when we get to the playoffs, though, it is kind of guard dominant. And when the Sixers don't really have a scoring guard, which is the one worry I have with the Sixers, because with Embiid, someone's got to pass him the ball.
Right.
right.
So if they start doubling Embiid before he even touches the ball and they take him out of the game, Tobias Harris is going to have to be that guy to score from the perimeter. For
Could
them.
Shake be that guy?
Shake could be that guy. I mean, he's got the potential for him to do it every game in a 7-game series.
It's
I
gonna be
don't
tough.
expect that
Yeah,
ever.
That would definitely be
But
tough.
a
That-
game or
that-
two in a series, Shake he can give you points.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe he gets momentum going, and he could stretch it out to like maybe 5-6
Oh,
games.
I would
Yeah.
love that.
You'd
I
love
would
to see
that.
it, him take that effort into 7 games.
Real quick
See what
update on the
happens.
Mets. Bohm hit a double. We're at the top of the
Didi,
second.
the
and
former
Didi
Yankee
is up.
legend, is
Didi,
up.
yeah, great
We
Yankee.
miss you, bud.
Great Yankee. Yeah, wish you were still here, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's
Is he
at it.
playing
He's
with the
solid,
mascot?
man. I really wish the
Yeah,
Yankees still
yeah,
had
he
him, bro.
does. Yeah.
That's fine.
So yeah, wouldn't be a surprise for Didi to rope
yard.
a double for sure.
Oh, dude, why don't the Yankees still have him?
I know.
So
I know.
beat.
And we'll talk about it when we talk baseball.
Speaking
But
of-
I-
We'll talk another time.
Speaking of former players, though, JJ Redick made his debut at Dallas last night.
1 for 7.
Oh, bring him back to Philly, man. I miss JJ Redick.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
No, he'll be
but
good.
before we move on here, I mean, any cause for concern with Dallas? I mean, obviously Porzingis was out. I mean, do you think, if they have a game tomorrow, if they lose that, it would be 4th loss in 5 games? I mean, any kind of caution you have here with them?
Well, I mean, they've just been streaky like all year like that. They had a
Yes.
tough losing streak like a couple months ago
Mhm.
or a month and a half ago, whatever.
Yeah.
And now they're in the midst of another one. So, I don't know, man. They're too streaky, bro. In the West is too tough. You can't be that streaky.
I think this is about where they are. I don't think this is a championship
agree.
team. I never thought that like coming into the season. These guys are young.
Right.
You know, Luka and KP both under 25, and KP obviously hasn't really been consistent staying on the court. Luka's doing everything he can, but you know, Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Richardson, are those really your next guys?
Yeah.
For a championship team, no. I mean, they're going to be a contender. They're going to be a tough out in the first round.
Right.
But it just, I don't see them getting past the first round.
Right.
Same.
So I think it's like
Sorry, Gino.
I was just gonna say it's
Sorry,
either
Gino.
you win that first round series or you don't. I mean, because I don't think you're not gonna beat.
Typically how it goes,
if you're the 4th or 5th seed, you're not gonna beat the top seed in the second round. It's just not gonna happen.
The West is strong.
Yeah.
I mean, if Dallas was out in the East, it'd be a different story.
Oh
yeah.
But the West is strong.
And
Probably
then
the conference finals.
you know, before we move on to tonight's games, some tough news coming out of Denver. Besides that,
I mean, it's sad, but you're lucky because Denver was about to
pop off.
Yeah. So they
Lakers
lose
over
to the Warriors
Alright,
last night, but they don't just lose the game. They lose Jamal Murray to a torn ACL, so he's out for the season. Big loss for Denver.
Yeah, and seeing a guy go down at this point in the season, he's going to miss the rest of this season and a huge chunk of next year for a guy Jamal Murray's age. I mean, that's really hard to see. And Jamal Murray's the guy, I think he's even more important than Jokic when the playoffs come.
Right.
Because he's the guy with the ball in his hand.
boom.
Yeah.
He's the guy that can drop 50 on you.
Yeah.
Like
he's
he
one
did
of the
that in the
best
playoffs in the
players.
bubble a bunch of times.
Yeah.
He's electric. It's sad.
Look,
Denver was
tough.
that team.
Tough loss. for
They were
Denver,
as good
for sure.
as anyone in the West. They would compete with the Lakers and the Clippers.
Yeah.
Losing Murray, now they lose that guard.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they do, though. I mean, do they full commit to Jokic at the point guard, bring in another big guy and play 5 guys over 6'9"? They could do something like that.
Yeah, they could.
It is interesting,
And I
but-
would just say, I wouldn't completely write them off, though, just for making some noise because a lot of talent's on that team. And of course, he's not a point guard, but I think you could play Barton big minutes. I think he's going to produce for you. So there's
Stop it.
Michael Porter Jr. I mean, he's sick. He's sick.
So,
he's sick.
those are the two
Play
guys.
Bull.
Those are the
Bull
two
Bull should
guys.
play,
If
dude.
Denver,
Hopefully they
This is
give
the
him some
moment.
minutes,
for
dude.
Denver to have hope continuing
in
in
that
the
rotation.
season, it's got to be Michael Porter Jr. giving you 20, 25 a night.
Yeah.
And Barton's got to be that third guy to kind of step up and be the ball handler.
Yeah.
Initiate the offense by getting it to Jokic, who then initiates.
And is it just me or first watch? Did you kind of like get confused for a second with Aaron Gordon with the hair? Like I didn't
know who he was.
Dude, I was like, wait a
Barnes,
minute.
I didn't know who he
Who the hell
was.
is that?
Yeah, I thought it was Jackson Hayes.
Crazy, bro.
It's
Aaron
been
Gordon,
growing.
dude. Good for them, though. I mean,
Yeah.
good for him for being there, too.
They've
so.
won most of their games since they acquired him.
I noticed him because he was
Great
wearing
trade.
number 50.
Yes.
Salty.
Yes.
So,
Very.
and then, looking at tonight, a couple interesting games. The first one, we got the Heat visiting the Suns. And last time these teams played, Suns did win 110-100 back on March 23rd. Heat have been kind of right in the ship lately, 6-4 in their last 10 after falling, a couple games under 500. Right now they're 5th in the East, so big game for them. We don't know what's going to happen with Oladipo. He could potentially miss the rest of the season. They haven't really announced what's going to happen. So big game here for them. The Suns, I mean, we've talked about the Suns so much. We know what they are. They're one of the best teams in the league. 23 games over 500 right now. And a solid home record at 21-8. So I'll start with you, Grasso. What do you see in this matchup?
Well, did you see what the Suns did last night? They hit 25 3-pointers in a game.
Yeah.
The Suns are dangerous, man. Chris Paul obviously has that offense running smooth, and Devin Booker is one of the best young scorers we got in the NBA. With Ayton, I mean, this team is pretty complete. Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, these guys. So, I mean, the Suns have so much offense. I don't see the Heat, keeping up with the Suns offensively.
No, I agree with you.
Especially with Oladipo out, he's kind of like
Yeah,
that guy
that's the
that can
thing, too, because
score too.
Oladipo brings such a defensive presence, but Phoenix's offense is just so potent, dude.
Yeah.
So they could strike at any moment. Devin Booker, Ayton, Chris Paul. It's crazy that Chris Paul, everywhere he goes, makes the team better. It's unbelievable.
I know. And that's
Point
why we
God.
teased MVP with him.
Downtime wants Chris Paul for MVP.
Yeah.
He is.
And I think the Heat are just, you got Butler and Bam, but then the rest of the roster comparing to the Suns, they just don't match up. So I'm with you guys. I think the Suns will handle business here at home, and tough loss for the Heat on the road. But what are you going to do? That's kind of how I see it. Are you in agreement with this, Mike? Or
With what?
The Suns taking care of business
Where you
at
been,
home.
bud?
against the Heat.
No.
Okay, the lone wolf is back.
Did you not hear the music, folks? That was Will Smith, Miami. That's my pick. Miami's bringing the heat.
No pun intended.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Thank you. They
Welcome, sport.
they have more at stake right now than the Suns. The Suns can lose one. They can lose one. They can lose two. The Heat are battling for position right now in the East. So the Heat are coming out swinging, and they're going to win this game by 8.
Okay.
I think the Suns are coming out swinging just as hard, though. They want that number one seed.
Suns by 20.
Only a game and a half back now.
I think they're kind of going to blow them out, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, the Suns are coming. They've been coming all season.
Philly scores.
A big coming. I'm going to keep
2-1.
coming.
Tony's getting a little
Stephen
nervous.
A.
2 outs, though. 2 outs.
Yeah. So runner on first, 2 outs. We'll see what happens.
All right, Tony. A little 2-1.
And then another, good matchup tonight. We have the Celtics visiting the Blazers. The Celtics have picked it up after really struggling all season. 3-game winning streak, 5 of 6 overall, but struggle on the road, only 11 and 16. We saw Tatum over the weekend drop 53. He's been playing well, hoping that Kemba continues improving. And then you know what you got out of Brown when he's healthy. Blazers have been consistent all season. Dame carrying the load, and it seems like Norm Powell has played well since he came over. So kind of an interesting game, and you'd feel like while the Celtics probably match up better with the Blazers, I think it's tough for them to go into Portland and expect to win here.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be tough for them. I was going to say, the biggest advantage for Boston right now is Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are bigger than any perimeter players Portland got, and they need to take advantage of that. But you're going into Portland, you're going to Damian Lillard's house, expect a big game from him because, who's going to guard him?
Right.
No one can really guard him. And CJ McCollum.
Pritchard maybe guarding.
Yeah, I think
Peyton out there, he might put a little pressure. I think Dame might drop him, a little crossover.
Yeah, I think Boston's going to have a tough
third.
time on defense, keeping up with this Portland Blazers offense. So
I think this game's going to be pretty high scoring. I think both teams are going to struggle on defense. And if the shots are going in, expect this game to be
high scoring
in the
dude.
130s.
Yeah.
I was going to say 125, 120.
We're going to see something like that tonight.
I'm going to pick Portland, though, dude.
Yeah.
Home court advantage.
Big one for Dame.
Yeah, I think so. Dame puts up a 50 spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll talk a little bit about Dame later, but, I've been probably the biggest hater of the Celtics on this show, at least so far this season, but they're starting to put it together. I like them in this matchup. I like Boston kind of cruising into that 4th or 5th seed in the East, even taking that momentum into the playoffs, but I like Boston tonight. I think they're going to get it done tonight.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm going to go Blazers here, even though I think the Celtics match up better. I think Norm Powell is going to make the difference here. He can, somewhat guard
Norm Powell.
So
That's the X factor.
So I'm going to
6'3"
say
Norm Powell.
I'm going to say the Blazers 120, Celtics 110, and now 10 games over 500 for the Blazers. Mike, who you got?
Wait, let me give a score before you go, Mike.
Yeah, go.
I'm going Boston 137, Portland 126. We're seeing some points tonight.
All right.
I mean, I could see that. I have Boston winning also. That's why I was playing that music, Barnes.
Nice one.
Thank you.
What's the score?
I'll go with his score, but I have another 50 piece from Tatum coming at you hot.
Doing it again.
Wow.
I mean, Tatum can ball.
Wow.
We know that.
Yeah, he's the truth.
So be a fun game
But better.
to watch.
He's the facts.
for sure.
The facts.
The facts.
And then just kind of curious where everyone's thoughts are now as far as MVP is concerned. We've kind of talked about this throughout the year, but now as we get closer to the end of the season, the picture kind of becomes more clear. Who are your guys' MVP picks?
I got
Matt
three,
doesn't even know.
I got 3 guys.
I do know.
And I mean, it's a toss up. I'll give you an order,
Thinking
but
right now.
I got Joel Embiid as the MVP. As long as he finishes the season healthy. I mean, Philly right now sitting at first in the East.
Right.
They weren't first in the East last year. I mean, obviously this team's improved big time. You can credit other things for that, but Embiid's body this year, his health, his balance on the court, he's dominated, better than any center since Shaq. So, I mean, I'm giving it to Philly and Joel Embiid, but Damian Lillard and Nikola Jokic are both having amazing seasons. Jokic, I think, is a lot of people's favorite because the Nuggets are doing really well, and obviously Jokic leads that team. But with Jamal Murray going down, I see this team kind of falling a little bit. And if they keep falling, I don't see giving an MVP to a guy.
Yeah.
If your team finishes 6th or 7th in the West, I'm not really into giving you the MVP. But you can kind of say the same thing with Dame. But with Dame, they lost CJ McCollum and Yusuf Nurkic in the beginning of the season. And Lillard kept this team right in the middle there in the West in the playoffs. They're still maintaining that spot. And Lillard right now, right around 30 points a game. Obviously the leader of this team. So Lillard at 2, Jokic 3, but I got Embiid for MVP.
What do you got?
Can't argue with the order, honestly. I agree.
You're going chalk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
You go, Barnes.
I'm gonna
Barnes is going Jokic.
I'm gonna say Jokic. Yeah. I mean, the numbers are insane, and this has become a numbers and record award, not valuable. If we're going valuable, obviously it should be Lillard or LeBron because we've seen the effect of those guys on the team.
Hurt, dude.
Yeah.
But LeBron didn't get hurt.
But I'm gonna say,
Yeah, but he got hurt.
but I'm gonna
Exactly,
say
so it's over for him.
Jokic,
Over.
Lillard,
It's
and-
Jokic, not Jokic.
and Embiid.
Jokic.
And if LeBron was playing, he'd win it. What do you got, Mike?
I have Embiid, Chris Paul. That's right,
CP3.
at 2, and then I have Dame Lillard at 3.
Okay.
Right?
We all got the same.
I really
three.
like Chris Paul, though. I really just feel for him, and I
Yeah.
think he should be considered a top 3 candidate,
Yeah.
especially with if it's, I know like you just said it's like a stat competition now or whatever, but
It
come
shouldn't
on.
be.
Come on.
One thing I would love the NBA to do is have an MVP award, an Offensive Player of the Year award, and a Defensive Player of the
Right.
Year award.
That would make a lot of
Because
That
sense.
would be sick.
then you're looking at Offensive
That would be
Player of the
sick.
Year award for Jokic or Embiid.
Right.
With an
Right.
MVP, you're kind of looking at Chris Paul.
Impact. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would
That's
be.
what the
They
most
should-
valuable
but
player.
That would be
Lock
sick
of the
if they
year.
had that.
I mean, Adam Silver is on top of these
Send
things.
it into
so
the office,
It wouldn't be
commissioner's
that much of a
office.
surprise if they eventually do something like that.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
if any league is going to do it, it is the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Silver's
he's
the
very
best commissioner
proactive.
of all 4 major sports.
By
And
far.
then what do you guys got for NBA Finals picks?
Ooh,
man.
finals. The West is going to be tough. I mean, we got to wait to see if the Lakers are going to be healthy. If they're healthy, yeah, they're going to be my favorites. Obviously, I'm not going to bet against LeBron and AD, but the Suns are playing great. The only concern for them really is they don't have any playoff experience outside of Chris Paul and Jay Crowder. I don't think Utah is going to get it done either. They lack any scores outside Donovan Mitchell. To me, it's the Clippers. The Clippers are the number 1 contender. Kawhi Leonard. I know you're not a huge fan, Barnes, but outside of LeBron and Durant, I think
Is that the Kawhi laugh?
Kawhi is the best player.
Terrible
in the NBA.
impersonation, but
Kawhi is the one guy I think that can take over a series and win a series for you.
yeah, I mean, if he wasn't
We've
so
seen him do it before.
self-absorbed, I would agree with you. But I think he's too concerned about him chilling out in LA and having a good time and not
I don't
really
know
caring
about
about
That
his
might be his
teammates.
teammate. That might be his teammate who really has got to come along
Oh
for them
my-
to win a
Yeah.
championship.
He did dunk on someone for the first time in 5 years.
I'm telling you, you're hearing it right here. The Clippers are not making it past the second round, guaranteed.
Woo.
Watch them
Wow.
beat
I'll
the
take that,
Lakers, and then Matt's going to be like so pissed.
Matt
So,
will never come on the
but-
show again.
but
No.
so you're going.
I wouldn't be able to.
So you're going Clippers out of the West.
Well,
or I mean,
Lakers, Clippers, Western Conference Final. I think everyone wants to see that.
yeah.
Give me the Clippers. Yeah.
Okay, and then what do you got in the East?
East, I got Brooklyn. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't bet
Brooklyn
against that.
over Philly. In the
Brooklyn over
conference finals?
Philly. I think Milwaukee's going to make more noise than we think they are. At least on this show, we think.
Mhm.
We kind of shit talk Giannis a little bit for not getting it done in the playoffs, but
Mhm.
yeah, Philly. I think they lack that perimeter scorer, and the Nets obviously they have all of the perimeter scorers, or
Right.
3 of them at
Literally.
least. And yeah, if the Nets are healthy, you're not going to beat that team in a series.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'll leave- I'll leave it.
I said Brooklyn Lakers from the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change my pick, especially because LeBron and AD are going to come back,
Right.
and then it's going to be a big problem. Big problem.
Big problem.
Big problem.
I'm gonna say Lakers and Bucks in the NBA Finals.
Ooh.
Giannis,
Ew.
Wow.
Giannis will average 40 points per game up to the finals
Pretty
before
much, don't worry,
LeBron
everybody.
locks him down. And I think the Suns will make
Brooklyn.
the Western Conference Finals, which will be big for them. But
Lakers Suns
and
again, like 2010.
Lakers are going to repeat as champs. So that's what we got. Who do you have, Mike? What do you got? The Blazers winning it all?
Oh yeah, exactly. Barnes.
Blazers
that's
over
low.
Knicks in the NBA Finals?
Melo's
Yeah,
dropping
it's-
50,
No,
Game 7 of
no,
the finals.
Finals MVP.
You wish.
I do wish.
You could only wish, and I wish Melo could win one, but they have to be healthy. Is that team going to be healthy? Because then maybe they can go out of the Western Conference.
They're healthy right now.
Yeah, they're healthy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, come on.
Dang. All right, then I'm going to be freaking really.
Crazy?
No, I can't.
You can't be that crazy.
I can't. I got to be somewhat a
Don't get
professional.
too crazy, man.
No.
Come on.
All right. I'm going to do.
It's on TV now.
I'm going to do Clippers, Sixers NBA championship.
Wow.
The process is complete.
The
You're going to see it all summer.
Yep.
Banners.
Respect the Sixers pick. I
The
have
process
to say.
is
Banners.
finished downloading.
Sixers,
I like it. That would be a
Sixers
sick
have a great
matchup.
team. That's for sure.
And
And
B's
then
going to dominate those big boys from the Lakers, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, the over. Goodbye, Anthony.
AD and
AD who?
going at it.
They'd say AD who?
Yeah, okay.
Who?
Oh my
They'd
God.
say
My
and then
ass,
Ben
They just
Simmons.
have amnesia
No way.
since they've been on the
Amnesia.
court together.
Yeah,
It's just been a while.
Yo,
that's all.
and then
That's okay.
Ben Simmons is gonna show LeBron James age.
Yeah, no. A lot of people have had luck with that over the past 18 years.
LeBron's like
Anyway,
21, dude, physically.
2010.
So before we get to our Emmy
2010.
Award-winning segment, we did have some news out of the NFL. Julian Edelman retires from the Patriots, and he struggled with injuries the last year or two. And they had some debate on the radio today if he's a Hall of Famer. And I will say absolutely not. Had some big moments, but I mean, the NFL, especially with the receivers, so saturated in the Hall of Fame. So his numbers just aren't there. And he played an important role on championship teams. But there's no way you could tell me he's a Hall of Famer and deserves to get in over somebody like Hines Ward, who's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, great career, not a Hall of Fame.
No.
Yeah, I agree. If like you just said,
Yeah.
for example, Hines Ward isn't in there,
Forget
you can't
about
put
it.
Edelman in there.
But no, I mean, and especially, playing quarterback at Kent State, great story,
Awesome,
really
yeah.
maximize his ability. But hey, not everybody can be a Hall of Famer. I mean, that's just what it
Right.
is.
Julian
He's
Edelman
got
had
a couple
hell of a
rings,
career.
dude.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, great career. It doesn't mean to take anything
Played
away
with
from
Brady,
him, but-
dude. He played with the greatest quarterback of all time. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he had a great time, and
great time. Grand old
would
time.
you agree with that, Mike?
Oh, 100%, dude.
Not a Hall of Famer, right?
He's
Mike?
not, but he's not done, boys.
Oh my gosh,
Mike,
Now
yeah,
you
wait,
want
wait,
to-
let's hear
Gonna
it.
pull a
Dude.
Gronk?
This just in.
Sounds a little sketchy.
Breaking news. Rob Gronkowski says that there's a 69% chance that he will return to the NFL and play for the Bucks. What do you think?
That's a solid percentage.
It's a
If
good
you,
one.
if you could put a percentage on it.
I think that came
wouldn't-
from Rob Gronkowski's mouth, too.
It did. No, it really
I
did.
definitely
Oh, yeah.
did. I definitely think that.
That's real.
And I just think, if the Bucks want to try to repeat again, which they won't, you got to bring back Antonio Brown instead of messing around with Julian Edelman. Not going to work. Sorry. And now,
Can't do that.
It is time for the Prizm pack reveal.
Let's go.
We go.
Or LaMelos.
Smell that, boys?
Isaac.
Peyton Pritchard.
I smell something, boys. Do you smell that, Matt? Grasso, you smell that?
Dude, what is
You
that?
smell that? Barnes?
Holographic cards.
Barnes got allergies.
It's Prizm back. It's time, folks. Here we go. With the first pick, Jaden McDaniels.
Another one.
What is that, number 10?
Yeah, right?
He might do something
Get him
one
some
day.
minutes.
He's got potential.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Let's hear it.
With our second poll from him, we're definitely getting this one graded. Oh, baby. And the next one, I'm sorry, I had to do a sneak peek. But Obi Toppin, baby.
Big pull. Let's get some more minutes, Phipps. Come on.
Come on.
He will.
Come on.
Dude,
Come on.
I want to see him play.
Yeah,
dude.
Gibson to the bench.
With
Yeah,
the third
Obi,
pick,
yeah,
guys.
Gibson, cut him.
Seriously,
Honestly,
dude.
cut him.
Play
With the
him.
third pick.
We like Taj around here, don't
No, don't cut.
Get him
No.
on memorabilia.
Coach, like Udonis Haslam.
Yeah,
I think we're interrupting.
Relax. We need Taj. With the third pick,
No.
we have the one, James Wiseman.
Oh, let's go.
Wow.
Jimmy the Wise.
Jimmy.
How are you?
Another one, which is great for us.
Another one.
Get well
And then
soon,
with the
James.
last pick, Jameis Ramsey.
Ooh, okay.
Ramsey.
I think that's a good poll.
Marcus Smart type player.
Yeah.
Mark Smart is solid.
I mean,
Very solid
Obi and
player.
James. It's great.
He needs to get Obi on the court though. Come on, Tibbs.
Yeah.
So, dude, I want to.
We know you're listening, Tibbs.
Out there, high flying.
To-
All the players.
Obi and
listen to
Knox.
this show.
Obi and Knox, right?
Yeah.
Dude, yes.
I think they are going to be the future of the Knicks. I mean, it's that simple.
Simple as that.
But
All right, guys. Yeah. Well, that's
So,
that. I think.
appreciate everybody for joining us, and shout out to Soundview Community Media. Appreciate it, and we will see you next time.
Love you guys.
Comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow.